Everyone thought Qatar was the ending, the perfect ending. December 2022, Lugo's golden light. Messi lifting the trophy he'd chased his entire life. Football, completed. The greatest player ever, finally getting the one thing missing from his cabinet. Cue the credits. Story over. Except nobody told Messi, because at 38 years old, an age when most legends are years into retirement, doing punditry and playing golf, Lionel Messi just opened the 2026 World Cup with a hat trick. Then 4 days later, he scored twice more and broke a record that had stood untouched for over a decade. He is now the all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the World Cup. Nobody, in nearly a century of this tournament, has ever scored more. He already won it. He has nothing left to prove, no mountain left to climb. And here's the uncomfortable truth for the other 47 teams at this tournament. That's exactly what makes him terrifying right now. A hungry Messi was dangerous. A satisfied Messi might be unstoppable. So let me explain, properly, why the rest of this World Cup has a very, very big Messi problem. To understand why what's happening right now is so absurd, you have to go back to where it started, and the timing of it is almost too poetic to be real. Messi's World Cup journey began on June 16, 2006. An 18-year-old kid came off the bench against Serbia and Montenegro in Germany, and scored. A teenager, fresh-faced, the future ahead of him, announcing himself on the world stage. Now fast forward. 2 decades later, almost to the very day, he opened the 2026 tournament with a hat trick against Algeria. June 2006 to June 2026. 20 years, 6 World Cups. From the youngest hope of Argentine football to the oldest record breaker in the tournament's history. He became the first player ever to appear in 6 different men's World Cups. Think about the careers that have come and gone in that time. The players who debuted alongside him in 2006 are now retired, coaching, or grandfathers. Entire footballing eras have risen and fallen, and Messi is still here, not just present, but leading the goal-scoring charts. That's the context for everything that follows. This isn't a legend hanging on. This is a legend who refused to let the story end where everyone else wanted it to. So let's start with the opener properly. Argentina versus Algeria. The defending champions beginning the defense of their crown in front of a sea of blue and white in Kansas City. Argentina won 3-0, and all 3 goals were Messi. His first ever hat trick at a World Cup, in his record's 6th appearance at the tournament. I want you to sit with that detail, because it's genuinely staggering. His first hat trick at a World Cup. This is a man who has been playing World Cups since 2006. He's scored in a World Cup final. He's won the entire tournament. He has every individual award the sport can offer. And somehow, in all those years, across all those games, he had never scored 3 in a single match at football's biggest event. Until now, at 38. He broke the deadlock in the 17th minute with an unstoppable left-footed strike from distance. He doubled the lead on the hour mark with a composed, ice-cold finish. And then, with 14 minutes remaining, he curled an exquisite shot into the bottom corner from the edge of the box. 3 different types of goal: power, composure, and pure technique. A complete striking masterclass from a man who isn't even a striker. It made him the oldest player ever to score a hat trick at a World Cup. And there was a poetic cruelty to who was in the other goal. The Algeria keeper he beat 3 times was Luka Zidane, son of Zinedine Zidane, the French World Cup winner. One generation's icon, putting a hat trick past the son of another. The defeat hit Luka so hard that he later revealed he's now working with a mental coach to recover from it. That's the kind of damage a vintage Messi performance still does in 2026. The record that was waiting. That hat trick didn't just win a game, it moved Messi to the edge of history. It took him to 16 World Cup goals, drawing him level with Germany's Miroslav Klose for the all-time record, a record that had stood since 2014, a record most people assumed would never be seriously challenged again. And here's the thing about the way Messi reached it. In doing so, he'd already surpassed the legendary Ronaldo of Brazil on the all-time list. The names he was climbing past are the absolute pantheon of the sport: Ronaldo, Klose, the greatest goal scorers the World Cup has ever seen, and Messi was leaving them behind, one by one, at an age when he was supposed to be finished. For any other player on earth, equaling the all-time World Cup goal-scoring record would be the defining moment of their career, the thing they'd talk about forever. For Messi, it was a Tuesday, a footnote, because everyone watching knew the real story was still one goal away. Beat Klose outright, and the record belongs to him alone, for as long as the World Cup exists. All he needed was one more, and the whole world tuned in to watch him get it. In the 38th minute, Messi latched onto a cutback from Thiago Almada and finished first time to make tournament history. His 17th World Cup goal, moving him past Miroslav Klose, alone at the summit, the outright leading goal scorer in the history of the Men's World Cup. 8 minutes. That's all it took. 8 minutes after missing a penalty that could have crushed him, he broke a record that had stood for over a decade. He turned a potential career-haunting moment into a footnote before halftime. As the commentary put it, after the early miss, Messi responded in the best possible way, firing Argentina into the lead and writing another chapter in an extraordinary career. And he still wasn't done. In stoppage time, he tucked home his 18th World Cup goal to seal a 2-0 win, a brace on the very day he broke the all-time record. The Algeria Controversy. Now, it hasn't all been clean, and a good breakdown shows you the messy parts too. That opening hat trick against Algeria, it came with a side of controversy that's still rumbling on. The Algerian Football Federation filed an official complaint to FIFA, insisting that both Messi and Alexis McAllister should have been sent off during the World Cup opener. From Algeria's perspective, they feel hard done by, that decisions went the champions' way, that the biggest star in the sport got the benefit of the doubt when it mattered. It's worth noting Algeria had their own early goal ruled out for offside in that game, and Messi himself had a goal disallowed for offside before his opener, so it cuts both ways. But the complaint feeds into a bigger conversation that always follows Messi. Does the sport's biggest name get protected? Do the marginal calls go his way because of who he is? There's no clean answer, and I'm not going to pretend there is one. But it's part of the story of this tournament, and it adds another layer to the Messi problem, because now opponents feel like they're not just playing Messi, they're playing the whole aura around him. Make of that what you will. Algeria certainly have. Why this is a problem for everyone else. Now here's the actual thesis. Why is all of this a problem? Why should the other contenders be genuinely worried? It comes down to why he's playing like this. As former USWNT World Cup winner Carly Lloyd put it, Messi is playing with complete freedom. He's already achieved the ultimate goal by winning the World Cup, and that makes him even more dangerous this tournament. No pressure, no expectations to live up to, just pure football. That is the nightmare scenario for every other team. Think about how you normally stop a great player. You put them under pressure, you make the moment feel heavy, you wait for them to feel the weight of expectation and crack. None of that works on Messi anymore. You cannot rattle a man who already has the trophy sitting at home. You cannot make the moment too big for someone who has already lived the biggest moment of all. There's no psychological pressure point left to attack. And he's not doing it alone on a weak team. This is still essentially the spine of the side that won it all in 2022. Messi is the headline act, but he's standing on top of a team that already knows exactly what it takes to win a World Cup. The experience, the nerve, the know-how. He's the genius on top of a machine that's already proven it works. And now there's even fresh motivation. Kylian Mbappé sits on 14 World Cup goals, just 2 behind, openly chasing Messi's new record. So Messi doesn't just have a title to defend, he has a record to protect, with the next generation's biggest star breathing down his neck. If you were hoping he'd coast, think again. He's got every reason to keep scoring. The reigning champions, the greatest player ever, playing with total freedom and a point to prove. That's not a team you want to see across the bracket. So, does the World Cup have a big Messi problem? Here's where I land. We were all told 2022 was the final chapter. The perfect, tear-jerking ending. The trophy, the redemption, the closure. And instead, Messi showed up to 2026 and quietly, ruthlessly rewrote the record books in the space of 4 days. a first ever World Cup hat trick, the all-time scoring record claimed outright, and a brace on the very day he broke it. 20 years after he first scored as an 18-year-old kid in Germany. He's playing free, he's playing fearless. He recovered from a missed penalty to make history in the same half. He's playing like a man who already conquered the entire sport and came back one last time simply because he loves it. And that version of Messi, the one with nothing to lose and nothing to prove, might just be the most dangerous version we've ever seen. Because there is genuinely nothing left to use against him. Every other team at this tournament is fighting, scrapping, sweating for a World Cup they desperately want. Messi's already got one in the cabinet. He doesn't need this. He's just here for the records now, and he's collecting them. That, for everyone else still left in this competition, is a very, very big problem. So I want to know what you think. Can anyone actually stop this Argentina team? Or has the ending already been written and we're all just watching it happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you think the GOAT has one more World Cup run left in him. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this throughout the tournament, and I'll see you in the next one.